4 reasons you shouldn't have kids. 4 reasons men shouldn't have kids. Let's get right into it. Let's get right into number one. Number one, bruh, don't have kids if you're not married. And I'm gonna give some context, right? Don't have kids if you don't want if you're not married. I'm gonna tell you why you shouldn't have kids if you're not married. Men, fellas, number one, I think we gotta get out of the idea that a woman is good enough to put a baby in, but she's not good enough to marry. I think that's crazy. I think that if we do it the other way around, which I do understand that for some people that's gonna be too late. Like, it's too late to do that, right? But maybe you don't have another one until you do this. And this is just my opinion. Now, I'm not married and I don't have kids, but I do think that, number one, having kids in a marriage is biblical and it's religious. Now, if you don't like the religious part of it, that's fine too. But I'm gonna give you another reason why you should probably get married before you have kids. You should get married before you have kids is because I believe that's one of the best things that you can do for the child. Let's talk about the child. Let's not even just talk about the two people that made the baby. Let's talk about the child. I think that it's way more healthy. I think that it's way healthier, way more productive, and way better for the child if you have two people that live in the household together. You have two of your biological parents together. Now, that's not to say that everybody that's married is going to produce good kids, or not everybody that's married is going to be good parents. I get all of that. I'm talking about, let's just talk about the first stage of it. Bro, you may have a lot less to worry about for your child if you just get married to the woman that you're going to have children with. And then also, you don't have to worry about having all of these baby mamas. Bro, having baby mamas and stuff like that is not cool. I didn't always think like that, and I'm glad that I didn't have kids in the midst of all of this and how I thought before, because before I was cool with just having a couple baby mamas, fool. Like, I was cool with just having a couple baby mamas, and I'm just like, nowadays, for me, I don't think that's the best thing to do. I didn't have kids, thank God. I don't think that's the best thing to do. I don't want to have a whole bunch of baby mamas. Baby mamas come with drama. Baby mamas come with child support. Baby mamas come with things that just do not benefit men at all. I know that you see your favorite rapper, Future, all these other guys out here that got 6 kids with 6 baby mamas and all of that. Fool, that does not mean that that's what you should be doing. That is not the best thing that's for those kids. Especially the fact that a lot of y'all ain't gonna have the money that Future even has. But it's not even just about a money thing. It's just about, bro, you're able to spend more time with your child and be able, especially if you have a son. And you a man out here with a son, regardless if you have a son or daughter, but especially if you have a son, you need to be in your son's life, Slim. And you need to be, you don't want to have a baby mama and then you got another dude that tries to come in and parent your child and tries to put his values on your child because you're not with the woman that has your children. Men don't think about stuff like that, bro. It's no way on earth that I'm gonna be living on earth and there's gonna be another man in the household with my kids. It's not happening. If I can do anything about it, it's not happening. Now, of course, that means you gotta make sure that you get the right woman and all that other stuff. We're going to talk about that more so later down in the list. But fool, I just think that it's the best thing to get married before you have kids, bro. Don't give nobody the chance to come in and push other values on to your kids that you don't want because they got, you know what I'm saying? Because they got another man in the house because you're not married to that woman. And also, I don't understand how a man will say, and I've talked about this before, I don't understand how a man will say that he won't marry a woman. She's not good enough to marry, but she's good enough to put a baby in. That's crazy to me. And then let's get on to say, now let's talk about the people that may say, oh, well, you know, I didn't have a choice. I didn't want the child and all of that other stuff. I get that. I don't even think that should be legal. I don't think a woman should keep a child that a man don't want. I don't. But the thing is, you still had to go in there without protection. You still had to shoot the club up. You hear me? You still had to do all of that for the baby to be born. Do I understand that after that happens and she does get pregnant, you don't have a choice? I understand that. I understand you may tell a girl that you want her to get the joint taken care of or whatever and she don't do it. I understand those cases, but as men, we just got to be more careful, especially the fact that we see this stuff happening. What just happened when I think it was Anthony Edwards and his baby mama, he done waived his rights. He done told the girl he didn't want the baby or whatever. It's like, bro, a lot of times we don't even have to put ourselves in that position. I don't agree with women keeping children that a man don't want. But another way to kind of combat that or to kind of get rid of that is be careful. Stop just shooting up in any woman. And bro, if you want to have kids, I think you should, bro, rock with the woman you gonna have kids with, fool. That's just my opinion. I understand that mistakes happen. I understand that people go through things. I'm not talking about the people that have already made those decisions. I know that you can't delete those decisions. You can't go back and change time. You can't do none of that. I'm not talking about y'all, but I'm talking about the guys that haven't made these mistakes and haven't made these decisions and don't have kids yet. Bro, marry the woman you have a kid with. If you're saying that you wouldn't marry her, don't put a kid in her, fool. It's a lot of guys that purposely get women pregnant too. Don't have a baby with shorty if you don't feel like she'll be a wife. Don't do it, bro. You save yourself a lot of headache. And if you're saying I'm not ready to get married, then I don't think you should be saying that you're ready to have a child, fool. That's just my opinion. I don't think that you should. I think that you should wait until you're ready to do all that, until you're ready to actually be able to support a family. So that leads me into number two. Number two, if you're not stable, if you're not financially stable, bro, you should not be having kids. I don't even think you should be doing what it takes to even have a kid, for real. If you're not financially stable, you shouldn't be worried about women right now. You shouldn't be worried about women right now if you're not financially. I'm not even saying you got to be real live up. I'm not even saying that, but at least be stable to the point where you have a sustainable income and you have money coming in and you can make certain moves. You can do different things. But if you're not, you don't have a job or you don't have a steady job or you don't have a steady income or whatever, and the money just ain't there and you feel like you may be down bad, you don't have a whip or you don't have a place to stay and stuff like that, you shouldn't be out here getting women pregnant, Slim, at all. At all. If the money ain't right, you should not be having a kid. And I don't even care I don't care what type of situation you in with the mother or who the mother could be. I don't care what y'all got going on. If you not, because the thing is, bro, when you have a child, it's not just about you no more. You got a whole nother mouth to feed, Slim. And that's not something to take lightly. You got a couple mouths to feed because I think when you have a kid, you got to make sure that mother's straight too, bro. You got to make sure the mother is straight too, especially if that's your wife. You got to make sure that she's straight too. It's not just about the kid no more. It's about the kid and your wife. It's about the kid and the person that you've had a child with. You got to make sure that they straight. You got to make sure things are stable. You are the man. You're going to be the man of the house. You can't be out here having kids, putting kids up in women, and you ain't got no money. You ain't got nothing going on. So even if we bring up the people like Future and stuff like that, at least, at the very least, the dude at least got money to be able to take care of his kids. So, bro, if the money ain't right, and I'm not saying you even got to be making six figures, nothing like that. I think it would be better. I think it would be better the more money that you make. But fool, if the money ain't right and you're not financially stable and you out here down bad, you got to rob Peter to pay Paul. You know what I mean? Slim, you should not be trying to have no kids. You really shouldn't be trying to worry about having no cat right now. You need to be just trying to get your life together. Get your life together first, bro. You can have kids later on, fool. Especially as a man, bro. We can have kids, bro. You can have kids for a while. Get your money right. Know that you're gonna have to buy Pampers. Know that the baby gonna have to be on somebody's health insurance. Know that the baby gonna need clothes. Know that the baby is gonna need, bro, the baby's gonna need everything. And then the mother of your child is gonna need help too. She gonna need this. She gonna need that. Because I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. When I get married and I have a child, my wife ain't gonna. I'm not gonna require my wife to go to work. I'm not saying she won't ever work, but while she's pregnant with my child, and while our child is a baby, she's not gonna have to work. So guess what? I gotta make sure my money right to be able to do that. I'm just not about to say I'm gonna throw a baby up in this woman, but I ain't got no money and I can't contribute nothing. What are we talking about? That happens a lot. Again, bro, you shouldn't even be doing what it takes to even have a kid for real like that. If you ain't got your money right. And then if you are still doing what you do, bro, at least use protection. But don't be out here shooting up in women, fool, and you ain't got no money. That's crazy. That baby did not ask to be here. So you're gonna allow your baby to come onto this earth and struggle because of your bad decisions? Because you couldn't have no self-control? Because you couldn't get your money right? That baby ain't asked to be here. Babies don't ask to be here, Slim. Having a child is extremely selfish, for real. And not saying it is bad, because I want kids and I think people should have kids, but it's a selfish act because that child didn't ask to be here. So if the child didn't ask to be here, you could at the very least make sure that the child does not have to struggle and not have to, you know what I'm saying, not have diapers and all that other stuff. If you be intentional, bro, be more intentional if you're gonna have a kid. If you're gonna have a kid, be more intentional. Plan it, bro. It's too many accident babies out here. That's number 2. Let's get to number 3. Number 3, if you're with the wrong woman, don't have kids. If you messing around with the wrong woman, and that's if you messing around with her, just doing what you do with her, and y'all just having fun, that's just your little vibe for right now, you'll be all of that. If you doing all of that, Slim, or I don't even care if that's your wife, I don't care if that's your girl. If you are with the wrong woman, you with a spiteful woman, you with a disrespectful woman, you with a woman with a bad attitude, you with a woman that, bro, if you're with a bad person, if you're not with a good person, don't have kids. That will be one of the worst decisions that you could ever make. That will be one of the worst decisions you ever make, Slim. I could give y'all a story, right? And I'm so glad I dealt with a woman at a time, fool. I dealt with a woman at a time, and I have no ill will towards her or nothing like that. It's just my experience, and I'm just giving my life. Bro, I was in a situation with a woman before, and bro, the situation was already pretty toxic or whatever the case is. We decided to have the bright idea of getting a dog together. And when I tell you, the way she treated the situation with that dog, if we would have had a child together, which is something that we was real loud talking about and all of that, if we would have real life had a child together, it would have been the same thing with the dog, and I would have never seen my kid. I would have never seen my kid, bro. So women will act like because they birthed a child that means is their property, and that is how that girl acted with that dog, fool. She acted like I ain't put no money into it. It real life turned into a whole big situation. And so I'm so glad that me and her did not have children together, because I know that just would have been, that showed me right there. Oh no, we can't have no kid. Shorty think that bro. And women act like that, fool. And not even just in those cases, because you'll have women that'll keep that child away from you. Would keep your child away from you. You'll have women that are just trying to get you for child support if you got something going on. So let's say you do got your money together. Let's say you are a guy. Now you pray, and now women will try to trap you because you got something going on and you got some money, and now they trying to put you on child support. They don't care that you don't want a child. That's why I'm telling y'all, be intentional. Be intentional with who you decide to have a kid with, fool. If you're with the wrong woman, I don't care if that's your wife, your girlfriend, whoever it is, or you just messing around with her. Be careful with the person you have a child with, bro. Because if you know that she's the wrong fit and she's the wrong person, she got a bad attitude, y'all got a toxic relationship, y'all always into it, she put her hands on you, all of that, y'all fighting, y'all doing all sorts of stuff, all that other stuff, don't have no kids, bro. I'm trying to tell you right now, do not have any kids. Don't have kids with that woman, bro. That will be one of the worst decisions that you will ever make in your life. Between, like I said, just baby mama drama in general, child support, all of these things that you're going to have to deal with, especially, let's say you do get a toxic woman or a terrible woman, a woman with a bad spirit, a woman with bad character. Let's say you get her pregnant. You do know you now have to deal with this woman for almost the rest of your life, or at least for the next 15 to 20 years. And I say 15 because maybe about 15, you won't have to really deal directly with her, but even still, that person still got your child. If you know that she got bad character, you do know whether you have a son or a daughter, she's going to imprint those bad characteristics into your child. Y'all be getting anybody pregnant, and then y'all get mad at how she treats you and how she treats your child, when you should have been intentional about who you was shooting up in regardless in the first place. If you know you messing around with the wrong woman or the wrong women, you need to be careful. Do not have kids. Do whatever you got to do to not have kids. Because having a child with the wrong woman could be the worst decision that you ever make. And I've seen it countless times, bro. I've seen countless times, bro. They'll take your money. They will take your happiness. They will stress you out. You don't do it. It's not worth it. And I don't care if you feel like she's right just right now. No, you need to be really sure. If you don't know how to read character, if you not peeping those red flags, you not peeping the bad things about her, and you don't know her, bro, stop. And especially if you just met a woman and you don't know her, why are you even doing that? Why are you shooting? Why are you doing that, Slim? What are we doing? Stop just having kids with anybody, bro. Have some discernment, Slim. Stop doing it. And number 4, last but not least. Number 4, if you don't have a plan for your life and you're not on your purpose, this kind of goes into the money, but it's over that too. It's gonna add more. I'm gonna add more context, right? If you don't have a plan for your life, bro, I just don't think you should have kids. That means you're not being intentional about who you're having a kid with. That means you're not intentional about the timing that you're having a kid. I don't think that we're ever ready to have kids, but I do think you can put a lot of stuff in order before you have kids. If you ain't got no purpose, that means you probably ain't where you need to be as far as money to have kids. None of that stuff. The girl you probably with ain't your wife, because clearly you don't have a plan for life. You don't know where your life is going. So why bring a child into this world, into that chaos? You need to figure out your life. You need to get on your purpose and make sure that you're doing everything to be the best version of yourself, so that you can instill all of that into your children, and you can be intentional about when you have children, who you have children with, how much money you have, all of that stuff. You gotta have a plan for your life if you gonna have kids. Don't just willy-nilly out here just have a kid, fool. All that in the moment stuff, all that in the moment, I'm just going to do this, and for all of that is stupid. It is dumb, and it will ruin your life. Don't do that, bro. If you don't have no purpose, you're not on your purpose, and you're not going in the right direction, and you're not going where you're supposed to be, or where you're supposed to go, you don't need to be having kids right now. Again, I don't think that anybody's ever ready for kids. I don't have kids, but I don't think anybody's ever truly just 100% ready for kids. But there are so many things that you can put in order before you say, let me go have a kid, before you bring a child into this world. And also, if another part of that is, once you start having a kid, it's not about you anymore. You do realize that, right? It's not about you anymore. When you're single and you ain't got no kids, if I wanted today to say, you know what, bro, at the end of the year, I'm moving to Miami, or at the end of the year, I'm moving this place, or at the end of the year, I'm moving this place, or even in the next 2 months, I'm moving this place, I can do that because I don't have a child attached to me. Now, when you do have a kid, now you have to consider that kid. You got to consider how you're going to split time with the kid. Now you got to consider how you're going to have, like, you got to figure out all of that, because now you have a kid to take care of. You can't just move freely, and you can't just think about you anymore. You got to think about everybody. You got to think about your child's mother. You got to think about your child, bro. You have to think about your children now. And if you don't have a plan and you want to just get up and go and just do it, you can't do that no more. I mean, you can, but then you will probably be a deadbeat, Slim, and I don't condone that at all. I don't even care if you do get stuck with a situation. And don't get me wrong, fool. Again, I 100%, and bro, I get disgusted when women have children after the father has said, I don't want a kid. I just think that is the dumbest thing on earth for women to do. But guess what? I still don't condone dudes being deadbeats, fool. You will never be able. I don't care, and I don't even care if it's a situation where the child is here, and now that the mother is keeping me from my child. I will take you to court. I am not about to have a kid out here and not know who their father is. I will not have a kid out here that I don't associate with. I will not do it. That is something that I will never do in my life. I grew up without my father, fool. I grew up without my father, and there's no disrespect to him, no down to him, because we cool now. But growing up, Slim, I didn't have my father. So it's no way on earth. I don't care if it was an accident. I don't care if I purposely did it. I don't care what happens. It's no way on earth I'm gonna have a kid out here and not have my kid. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And also, let's go back real quick. I'm gonna add a little bit more context to not having the right woman. If y'all don't align, if y'all morals don't align, y'all principles don't align, if y'all don't align in everything, you shouldn't be having a kid, because guess what? She is going to be teaching your kid. She is going to have your kid, whether you're a co-parent or whether you with her. She is going to be the mother of your kid, and she will try to teach your kid what she wants to teach your kid. And a lot of the times, it's not going to be anything you can do about it. It's not going to be anything you can do about it. Y'all let me know what y'all think of this video in the comments. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I'll see y'all on another one. Love.